Police have reiterated that this appears to be a targeted attack with no signs of forced entry into the home.
There's also newly released DNA evidence, which shows no DNA from any of the 4 murder victims that was found in Kohberger's home or car.
A new report claims the 2 roommates who survived the massacre were awake and texting each other while their 4 friends were stabbed to death one by one.
As a lion hunts for its prey, we are being hunted by those in control. An innocent wildebeest runs by, only to be caught by the sharp fangs of the lion. Trapped and unable to escape, it faces an inevitable end. This is eerily similar to the situation of an innocent man ensnared in the justice system by mere circumstantial evidence. In both cases, the outcome is driven by the need to catch prey and call it a day, with no regard for the circumstances or the families involved. There is no true justice for the victims. Injustice for one is injustice for all.
There was no threat, and our goal is to provide safety for this community. That's why we're bringing in the resources we're bringing. We want it close to this, and we want to do everything we can to let the people in our community know that we care. We want them to feel safe. We want them to be safe, and we're going to do everything we can to do that.
Your mind is still open to the potential, of course, that it could have been someone else?
Of course, yep. I go into that 100%, yep, of course.
Knowing that we cannot interfere with the important work and good investigations that are occurring. We just want justice for these victims.
That's despite significant pushback from 2 of the victims' families, but the university believes this will help students to heal and move forward.
Well, we have relied heavily on the expertise of Moscow police.
You heard the university president as well as the chief of police talk about this small community, and it's a very close, tight-knit community. And our hearts break for the families that lost their loved ones, the University of Idaho, the Moscow community, and even within our entire state. Be assured, the Idaho State Police is firmly in support of the work that the Moscow Police Department is doing, and we are providing every resource that we can to make sure that this comes to a conclusion, and the person or people that this is responsible is brought to justice.
And again, this comes from sourcing close to the investigation, that the first responders who responded to 1122 King Road on that horrible overnight morning incident in November 13th, they were not wearing protective footwear, booties, right? Fast. And for that reason, they tracked snow melting chemicals in from the driveway and parking lot into the home, and thereby potentially disrupted the retrieval of footprint evidence.
Well, we have relied heavily on the expertise of Moscow police.
The incompetent Moscow police officers failed to handle this case properly. Evidence was contaminated, destroyed, and may have allowed the real criminal to escape justice. Was this intentional or merely an accident? What we do know is that Moscow has never been a truly safe town. The level of corruption within law enforcement in this small town is significant, especially given its relatively small population. Some of the victims' parents don't even believe Kohberger is the true suspect. With no motive and no DNA linking Kohberger to the crime scene, it is becoming increasingly evident that this crime may have been committed by another group of people. But who?
We've been reporting on this upcoming trial, and I feel like every time we talk about it, we say it's happening later, it's happening later. It's been 2 years. I think the trial's still another 8 months away. What do you think about all this time that has passed from the time of the crime to the fact that we have not been to trial yet?
I don't have a lot of comments on that. I would say that I feel like the legal system is not about the victims, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
For the course in this business, you just can't have a frantic scene without people making sure lives are saved first, and maybe there is a footprint that isn't perfect or is gone, or maybe there are these melting chemicals that tracked into the house. But they did say they've got one latent footprint that was discovered with a blood sourcing chemical compound.
How's it going?
Oh, good. How are you?
Good.
We're not actually. I don't
You don't live here?
No, I don't.
We're just here for noise complaints. Yeah, they did. Beat on the damn door. Hey, who's the owner or who lives here?
I can go get them real quick.
Okay, thank you, please. Hey, who's the owner or who lives here?
But they did say they've got one latent footprint that was discovered with a blood sourcing chemical compound.
I can go get them real quick.
Okay, thank you, please.
The suspect is hidden in plain sight. Someone with the motive, fueled by envy and jealousy, wearing Vans-style shoes, and likely collaborating with other people to cause chaos. There are no signs of forced entry, no DNA evidence found in Kohberger's home, yet a knife sheath is conveniently planted on the bed. It's reminiscent of the game Among Us, a survival game where a secret mole's objective is to sabotage and confuse everyone else.
Where did you see this person?
I was asleep, and then I woke up
Okay.
And it was just me and Sadie home at the time, and we both lived down in the basement, and my door was closed. I heard my door open, and I looked over, and someone was wearing a ski mask and had a knife like this.
Oh, okay.
And so I kicked the out of their stomach and screamed super loud, and they flew back into my closet and then ran out my door and up the stairs.
It almost makes me think that somebody was specifically targeting that person. You know what I mean? Like if they went to a specific room and would know how to get into this place.
The woman tells police it was about 3:30 a.m. when a masked intruder entered her bedroom in Pullman, Washington, holding a knife.
Bryan Kohberger was named a person of interest in an eerily similar home invasion.
It all centers on a home invasion that was reported to cops in Pullman, Washington in 2021, a year before the notorious University of Idaho slayings. 13 months later, less than 10 miles away, 4 University of Idaho students were found slain in their off-campus house. It's now being revealed that shortly after Kohberger's arrest for quadruple murder, he was named a person of interest in the home invasion. The similarities? In each case, the intruder had a knife, wore a mask, and stayed silent. But there are also differences. Kohberger is 6 foot tall. The home invasion victim told officers the intruder was between 5'3" and 5'5". Police say Kohberger is no longer a person of interest in the earlier break-in. That case has been closed and remains unsolved.
The home invasion victim told officers the intruder was between 5'3" and 5'5".
Police are investigating reports of a man who tried to force himself into the apartment of a young woman he doesn't know. The victim posted her story on Facebook, and it is getting a lot of attention tonight. So much attention, in fact, that Pullman PD addressed it on its own Facebook page.
Recent events on the Palouse over the last few months have understandably put the Pullman community on edge. And now there's even more concern after someone tried to force their way into a WSU student's apartment Friday night.
Oh my gosh, that's scary because it's right here where I'm living at.
Selena Salou lives a few doors down from where the incident happened. She learned about the attempted abduction in a group chat. The rest of the community learned about what happened after the victim posted about it online. According to that post, after walking home Friday night, the PhD student noticed a black car parked outside her apartment. She says it was running and the trunk was left open. She got inside the apartment, but when she went to close the door, a man grabbed the door handle and tried forcing himself inside. The post says she had to use her full body weight to close and lock the door. She reported this to police shortly after, and then, out of fear, she left Pullman as soon as she could.
We need the community's help.
Commander Aaron Brashears says officers arrived on scene within minutes and made extra patrols that night, but they did not find the man or the black car. He says the man is described as approximately 5'5" and was seen wearing a green sweatshirt.
He says the man is described as approximately 5'5" and was seen wearing a green sweatshirt.
It is becoming clear that an injustice is unfolding in this case. If they can falsely accuse one man of a crime he didn't commit, it can happen to any of us. But if we stand together and fight back, we will no longer be easy prey to the injustices within the criminal justice system. Like animals in the wild, we are often expected to stay passive, making ourselves easy targets. However, when they fight back, the predator has no choice but to flee. Similarly, by uniting and resisting injustice, we can ensure the truth prevails and justice is served. It's Casper West here, signing out.